Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. And this lovely project was one of the swaps I received at Onstage in Vienna. So I've already showed this in a video and it's definitely one of the ones that I wanted to case, and I got a couple of comments from people saying, oh, I'd love to find out how to make that. Because inside we've got this cute little bag. And when I showed you this, the logo though there isn't terribly clear, so did a little bit of research, and this is the lovely lady who made this, and this is her blog, so please do check that out. She doesn't actually have a tutorial for this, so I set about measuring it, and I think she's probably used centimetres, and I'm going to use inches. And I used some old retired card and paper to come up with my version. It is very similar but slightly different, obviously, using inches, and I've had a little bit of play about with the score lines on there. My bag is slightly wider than hers, so let's make a nice version with not retired stuff that I just grabbed. Okay, so I'm actually using some of the Christmas paper. It's called Sweetest Christmas, I think. I should always look at these things first, isn't it? Yeah, it's Sweetest Christmas. I just say things and then I think, is that right? So I've got a piece of this paper, and it doesn't look Christmassy, so I'm not using it for Christmas. I'm actually going to use a new bundle, give you a sneak peek at that as well when I decorate this. So I have a piece of card that is 8 1/4 inches, so that's the width of a piece of A4, by 4 1/2 inches. I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored, and actually put the paper on top is a good idea. Right, so on this I want to score this on the long side, so 8 1/4. I want to score that at 3 1/4, 3 7/8, and 7 1/4. Simple. And then for the designer series paper, this measures 5 3/4. No, it doesn't. It should be 5 3/4, and I've not done that. By 7 1/2. So I need to. I need to cut this. Let's get rid of that bit so I don't confuse myself any more than I need to. Okay, back to where we were. 5 3/4 by 7 1/2, and on the long side I want to score that at 1 inch, 3 1/2, 4 and 6 1/2. Then on the short side I want to score that at 3/8, then at 3/4 of an inch, and then 1 1/8. And to save me working it out at that side, I'm just going to whiz it round and do the same again. So 3/8, 3/4, 1 1/8. Really quite difficult to see on this pattern. I need to put that away and bring in my bone folder and my scissors. Just reinforce these lines gently because it's just designer series paper. There should be another one there somewhere. There it is. Okay, so that's those ones, and now I need to do that way, and then I'm going to fold it back that way, and then back over that way. So you've kind of got a little bit of a concertina at the edge there, and do the same at the other side. So I will have all of the measurements and the products that I am using in my blog post. So that was supposed to go the other way. Although I will be using a new bundle that won't be available until January to do the decoration, but it's just I've already got it and I want to play with it. So I will. Okay. So what I'm going to do is cut off, because I only need this concertina bit on one side, but I'm going to cut those bits there right up to there. Okay, so right the way past the first and the second up to the third score line, so that just get a little bit further. As I say, it's difficult to see with this pattern, so same on that side, straight up to there, and I'm actually going to take that bit out. Okay, so on the little bag you don't have a side bit there, and I'm going to take out all of this bit down that side there. Okay, do the same with the middle bit on this one. I'm going to leave that one and take this one out, so I can just go straight the way down like so. Alright, so I've now got that there. I've got my score line there and there because they are going to fold over and hide my ribbon. Now the only sweet sorbet ribbon I've got is the metallic one, and it's really, really thin, and I'm not sure that I would be able to stop it coming through the hole. So I'm going to use a white ribbon. I've got this cotton one with metallic silver edge, so I will be using that. And I'm just going to find my ribbon snips, and where's my ruler? Add my ruler. And I'm going to do 6 inches. I would normally do that on my grid mat, but I've got it round centimetre side instead of inches. Right. So 6 inches will be more than enough for my little handles on my bag. And I'm going to bring in a bit of what's it called? I can't remember what it's called. Self-healing cutting mat. That's what it's called. I remembered. And I'm just going to come in, measuring from that score line along that score line there, and I'm just going to score between the 3/4 of an inch and the 1 inch mark. Okay, and again I'll just line that up along that score line with the 1 inch there, and I'll just do from the end to 1/4 of an inch, and that should be the same. Okay, did I do that the right bit? Yep. And then do the same at the other side. So from 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch, and then from there that's it. Do from 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch, just because I prefer going that way. It's easier for me, but you get the gist. I'm just putting a little slit along that score line, and I don't seem to have I've gone too high, that's what it is. But that's fine, just do it again. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a little slit there, and should have one there, and that's just to put my ribbon through. And we'll do all of that first. So difficult to see. And that's just where I've chosen to put my ribbon. You can do whatever you like with your ribbon, but putting those score lines along, sorry, those cutting lines along that, where is it? There it is. Along that score line, those little slits just means you can put your ribbon through, and then when you fold it over, your ribbon's concealed on there. Okay, so I'm going to put my ribbon, pull it just a little bit more, doesn't matter, it's got a bit tatty at the ends, it's going to get covered up anyway, but just in case any threads come through. Now I've got a little twist in that ribbon. The ribbon's slightly wider than the slits that I put in. That's okay. Right. Make sure I'm happy with my ribbon before I glue it down. I'm not bothered it's got a wee twist in it. It's fine. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It'll do. I don't want to be sitting here all night, do we? Right, so bit of tearing tape over those pieces just to secure them in place. And then I will do exactly the same on the other side with my other piece of ribbon. Pop that through. Right, so we've got our little bits of ribbon on there just for decoration, and then I want to, what do I want to do? Yeah, I want to do it that way first. I've forgotten, I need to cut some other bits off. I need to cut that out of there. and the same up in that corner there. So we can fold that in. So that's 1, 2, 3 bits that I'm cutting off there. Okay, so those will form the sides and that will go down over there. So because I've got tearing tape, I'm just going to use that on here. So on the last bit there, I'm going to take the backing off. Where's my take the pick tool? So we've got that folding in that way, and then I can bring that over and then lining up that edge, that fold with that cut edge there. Hopefully you can see that, and then press it. Okay, so we've got that little gussety bit at the side there, and then need to do the same on this side. So on the right side of the last little panel there, piece of tape. I just use my ruler to get a neat edge, but you can just simply tear it. Okay, so again, got that fold in there, looking to line that up with this cut edge and the fold edge. Easy peasy. Final bit, it's a little bit more tricky. I'm going to fold that one out of the way so you can see. You don't have to take the backing off that, but it's going to give you an extra bit of adhesion. And I am going to use wet glue on this. Okay, and I'm going to fold that in, and it's going to cover up and give you a nice neat piece there. Then do exactly the same with this bit. This may not be the way that my original swap was made, but it was the way I figured out to make it, and have the same kind of thing where that ribbon end is neatly tucked away for nobody else to see, and we've got our little gift bag done. The piece of card that we scored, just simply want to fold and burnish those lines as well. Now I have chosen to add some more of the designer series paper to the front of this, so I'm just going to do that just now before I put the bit inside. And this piece of designer series paper measures, she needs to find the right post-it, 3 inches by 4 1/4, and I've just got that squint there. There we go. The joys of wet glue. It's back where it should be. And then I put a little strip on there, so this is 3/4 inch by 4 1/4 inches. Like that. I am going to add wet glue along the base of the little handbag, and it's going to go in the middle of that bit there. Okay, and just trying to get it straight and trying to keep it in place. Let's come this way a little bit. I don't want to undo it. Right, happy where it is, give it a press from the inside with your bone folder and leave it for a moment and hope it's not going to go anywhere. Now, I promised you I was going to give you a sneak peek of a new bundle, and the stamp set is called Something Fancy. Okay, and I bought this for this one here. I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. So I think I'll probably use that one quite a lot, but the one I'm going to use today is Nothing Fancy, Just Love, and then there's a nice little happy birthday there as well. It's a bundle because it comes with a set of dies that are called Something Fancy dies. This is something new that Stampin' Up! Are doing, in that they're calling the dies and the stamp set the same thing, whereas before there was a slight variation between them, and I used to always get confused about what was what. They're going to be the same, so you know for sure that's the bundle. So the Something Fancy dies, I am using this tag, and you've got these little bits that you can use to make your tags a little bit fancier, and then we've got these nice shapes on there, and I also want to use this one for the happy birthday. Okay, got a piece of basic white card. I've already mounted my stamp, and I am simply going to pop that in the middle there. I like to stamp first, die cut second, because then it doesn't have to worry about whether I've stamped that straight or not, because I can just move my die to make sure that that's straight. Okay, and then I've got this little flower piece here that will sit in there. Let me just get rid of that. Put my hand in it. So I would line those two up where I want them, and then pop on a bit of low tack tape to keep those two where I want them, and then line that up where I want my tag to go around my stamp, and then I can run that through my cut and emboss machine. But in true blue painter style, if you're of a similar vintage to me, then you'll know that that just means here's one I prepared earlier. So this is now set. I'm just going to put the happy birthday on the front there at a jaunty angle. Hold that in place for a second. So that's that bit done. I'll talk to you in a moment about what you can fit in here. And I forgot my dimensionals. There we go. Now, I'm actually going to put that like that. So I've got quite a lot there and not there, but I'm simply going to flip that, and I know I've got to add dimensionals to this bit up, and I can do the middle and top of that. Top there, do that one in the middle there. Okay, so I've got them just on one kind of half diagonally. I'm loving getting my nails done. I never used to. If you look back at my old videos, I've got horrible nails. But I'm still transitioning. I've always just used my nails as tools, and now I can't. Here we go. So I've got nothing fancy, just love. And pop that up and it says happy birthday. Now, a few things you can put in this. I had a little chocolate in mine when I got it, I think. A gift card will fit in there. I've got these little chocolate teddies I got in Lidl. You can get 3 of them in there with your gift card as well. Just slide that under there like that, and it fits. It's a bit chunky, but it works. Or you could take that all out, put in some lovely tea bags. You get 3 or 4 tea bags in there, a little biscuit, something like that. So somebody could have a cup of tea and a biscuit and then go and spend their money online in my Stampin' Up shop, maybe. But there we go. That is my version of this lovely swap that I received from Christiane, and those are her details there. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, then I would love for you to click on that subscribe button, and if you hit the bell, then you'll get notifications of the next time I upload a video tutorial as well. And as I say, this Something Fancy bundle with the Something Fancy tagged dies will be available in my online shop from the beginning of January. I can't remember the exact date, which is when Celebration will start as well. So keep an eye on my blog posts for more details about that too. Until the next time, take care. Bye bye.